shadows in the labor world. Imbazi's price of poverty. We judged the belly of a 16-year-old, but ignored her brokenness. Who will speak for the Imbazis of this world? I'm yours, Victoria Nilima. In a dimly lit labor ward of a rural hospital in western Kenya, at the farthest corner lay Imbazi, a girl of only 16. She was a term, pregnant, 9 months, her young body now betraying her with waves of pain she barely understood. Her hair had been roughly cut, a faded lasso tied tightly around her head. She wore a long, almost tattered like blue dress that swept the floor with every slight movement. The dress hid her swollen belly, but nothing could hide the truth, that within her was a child about to come into the world. She lay prostrate on the iron bed, gnashing her teeth with every contraction. The walls of the ward echoed with her muffled groans. She could not be consoled, not by the nurse, not by the whispers around her. She did not understand why her body was punishing her in this way, why the pain seemed unending, why her childhood had ended so abruptly. Around her in the ward, elderly pregnant women looked on, each casting a glance heavy with judgment. Their eyes were sharp, their whispers louder than her cries. "That girl has no respect," said one woman, and the other one joined. "She was warned, but she didn't listen." And then the third one said, "What kind of 16-year-old comes here with a belly like that?" And they sneered, they laughed, they shook their heads, they judged her harshly. In their minds, Imbazi was disobedient. She was reckless. She was the cautionary tale every mother used to frighten her daughters. To them, her pregnancy was proof of immorality, proof that she had ignored every warning about boys, about men, about keeping herself pure. But you know what? None of them paused to ask a different question. Why was a 16-year-old girl on this bed at all? Why wasn't she in school, reciting poetry or solving mathematics with her friends? Why wasn't she at home, braiding her sister's hair or running down dusty paths barefoot, laughing like the other girls her age? The truth lived in the silence behind her eyes, in the tears she swallowed before they fell. Imbazi carried not only a child, but also a secret, a story she could not speak, because who would believe her? Now listen to this. Before Imbazi became a victim of this so-called blessed misfortune, or rather blessing in disguise, there was a man, someone who saw her vulnerability not with compassion, but with greed. Back in Itando, Western Kenya, where she grew up, poverty was not just a condition, it was a lifestyle. It was a constant shadow. Her home stood as the very image of lack. Mud walls caked with cracks, a rusty roof that rattled each time the wind blew, and a crooked doorway patched with thin, splintered poles that could barely keep the cold away. To Imbazi's family, meals were never promised. It was not about choice, but chance. Sometimes it was maize boiled without salt. Sometimes it was ugali with salt. Sometimes nothing at all. They had long forgotten what it meant to eat 3 meals in a day. Whatever came, however little, whatever time, they swallowed it without a single complaint. Just a few steps away, in Imbazi's neighborhood, lived a motorcycle rider. Compared to Imbazi's world, his life seemed rich, affordable. At the end of each day, he would count his earnings, 500 shillings or more, enough to feed his family and still buy himself small luxuries. In the eyes of a girl who often went to bed hungry, he seemed powerful, untouchable, a black messiah, a savior. And this is where it all began. What started as small gestures, a ride offered here, a packet of fries pressed into her hand, coins that jingled with false kindness, 5 bob, 10 bob, 20 bob, slowly grew into something darker. He dangled survival before her, and in exchange, he demanded her innocence. At 16, Imbazi did not understand the cost. Hunger makes even a predator look like a friend. Each time her stomach growled, each time her siblings cried for food, the line between choice and coercion blurred. What she traded was not from freedom, but from desperation, from need, from poverty. And so her body became currency, her childhood the price, the cost. For a brief moment, as the contractions eased Imbazi's in labor ward, her mind wandered back. She replayed the scenes that led her where she was. Every hungry night, every false promise, every moment her innocence had been stolen. For that fleeting second, she almost forgot the searing pain of labor. And then came the tears. Oh, not just from childbirth, but from the heavy burdens she carried within. Tears of pain, tears of poverty, tears of dreams stolen before they had the chance to bloom. The rhythm of her sobs was soon overtaken by the rhythm of her body. Oh, it was time. The nurses rushed her into the delivery room. Her young frame trembled, sweat dripping down her brow as she pushed through the agony that felt larger than her years. Minutes later, the ward was filled with a different sound, not her cries, but the sharp, defiant cry of new life. A baby girl, strong-voiced, breathing against all odds. Mshindi was here. Imbazi held her close, her arms shaking, her heart overwhelmed. Mshindi means the victorious one. A name whispered like a prayer, a plea to the heavens that life would show her daughter the kindness it had denied her.